Hi, everybody. Please excuse my dim lighting, but I wanted to make a quick video to talk to you about our in-person event in Tennessee in early September, September 4th through 7th, because Tibor and I are super excited to actually meet some of you in person for the first time. And so, what's the event about? I haven't really said much in my newsletters yet, although I will be saying more. You can click the link below this video that says Join the Gathering, and it'll take you to the event website, and there's some more specifics. But what's the point of this whole gathering? We've never done anything like this before. As you all know, if you are readers of this newsletter, which has been a little lacking lately, I will admit. You know that we do everything remotely. We've done everything online for the past several years, but that's not how things started out. And essentially, this gathering is the culmination of 10 years of Guardian One's work. And how, at some point, everything kind of got funneled down to mostly clearing, although, I've offered different things like our spiritual health series. I offered quantum communication online, I think 3 years ago. But primarily, we focused on clearing, especially since Tibor joined me in 2021. And as a lot of you also know, I kind of at some point when this funneling was happening towards clearing, I started speaking out first on my Instagram page and then just through the newsletter about a lot of spiritual practices that, in my experience, were kind of blasting people open to all kinds of things, and causing a lot of issues and a lot of infringements. And so it didn't feel right to me to be clearing people without also trying to educate people on how did you get to this point in the first place. And then along those same lines, I also started studying for some of my own health reasons, but also observing doing clearing work, how there was some direct link between what some people call astral infringements, possessions, attacks, energetic issues, and trauma held in the body. And so I started in 2021 my studies of trauma and the nervous system. And I've continued to this day. I'm still in a year-long biology of trauma course with Dr. Amy Apigian, which is taking things to kind of the next level. And all of this is related. To me, there's no separation between spiritual work and things like biology and the human body and the everyday human experience. And that's what Guardian Ones is really all about, is acknowledging that all of those things are one and the same. They might use different language, but they're all very intertwined. And so we really do more than clearing. And in fact, for a lot of you who have had clearings from us, um, we often will actually incorporate elements of energetic healing. And that's how I started back in 2015. I started not with clearing, not with dealing with demons, none of this stuff. I started with things like learning energetic merging, first with horses and dogs, but primarily horses, um, healing techniques, things like I call it now, well, I could call it many things, but I call it bioenergetic rhythm assessment. It's related to craniosacral therapy, and it's a really powerful, a simple and powerful assessment and treatment technique from an energetic standpoint. I've never taught anyone. I've been meaning to teach Tibor for a couple of years, and we just haven't made it happen. I'm going to be teaching that at the event. I'm going to be teaching quantum communication, not just animal communication, but the fact that we can, because everything is made of the same substance, the creation substance, right? Which is more space than substance, but that's a whole other rabbit hole we could go down. But because everything is made from that pure source creation energy, we can communicate, we can talk with anything. And so we will be doing quantum communication. The foundations of everything we do at the Tennessee event. So it's basically tapping into your innate energetic, you could call them spiritual abilities, but really they're just human abilities that have been suppressed, denied, forgotten, even punished, throughout history and especially recent history. It's being able to tap back into those, but from a place of being super grounded and understanding the connection between the human nervous system, the body, the fact that we are conductors of energy. And if you're not grounded, and if you are lacking in certain minerals, and if you're lacking in natural sunlight, your ability to move energy through your physical vessel is greatly altered or diminished. So we're focusing on that at the event is, doing the fun things, the animal communication. Um, you could call it shamanic journeying. There's another word. I just know if I say it that way, you will know what I'm talking about. Things like dowsing. Dowsing water witch services run in my family. My great grandfather was often called upon for water witch services. We're going to play around with that. We're going to be on a beautiful farm with amazing animals that are also tapped into a lot of this work. Horses and donkeys and dogs and cats, and there's wild animals. I've heard there's wild turkey and deer. And so just to be in this tranquil, beautiful farm outside of Knoxville, Tennessee, to keep it really grounded, we're going to focus on quality sleep and quality food. And I've been to some events that are amazing and fun, and you have all these incredible experiences, but you're more drained when you leave. And sometimes it'll take you a couple weeks to recover from just the event itself. That's not what we're doing. We're tapping into your innate spiritual gifts, but I want you to leave there feeling like not only did you pick up new skills, or maybe you honed and refined skills that you already have, you discovered something new, but that you feel rejuvenated physically too, physically, mentally, emotionally. We're not there to dig into your deep, dark traumas. We're not there to try to trigger you into some next level of spiritual enlightenment. I'm not there to push you because I don't think it's necessary, actually, in order to just tap into who you naturally are. So I really want this event to be fun. It's going to be about connecting with like-minded people. If you are someone who has either been interested in spiritual things, not had a community to talk with, or you've had experiences that seem odd, and if you bring them up to other people, you get looks, or people are very skeptical. If you have secret space program experiences and you're like, oh, this is just crazy, I don't have anyone to talk to about this, that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to spend a lot of community time. We'll have circles in the morning, at night, when we get to share our experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, and connect with other people that understand and are not going to look at you like a weirdo. I mean, if you're reading this newsletter, you're already tapped into what a lot of people consider weird, and no one in our crew is going to judge you for that. Some of the strangest things come up through clearing and in our community talks and things like that. So clearing will be an aspect of it at our morning and evening circles. We'll clear the group. We'll talk about some of that, but it's not really the focus. It's everything that I started with before life and spirit kind of just directed me down this clearing path. I started out learning how to do energetic healing, learning how to tap into ancestral and past lives. That's been something that I've been able to do since I was a child. Um, Things like dowsing. Uh, what else? What else? Now my brain is going blank. Oh, mediumship, animal communication, quantum communication. All of these things I was doing, and offering sessions and different kinds of healing. And then just through time, I mean, people just started having to deal with more and more infringements. And so it got refined down more towards clearing. But there was like a whole wide range of things that I learned and was practicing for years before we ended up just doing primarily clearing work and then teaching our methods. So I want to get back to that. And I feel like if any of you have been following me for a while, whether you used to follow my Instagram or whether you've been reading these newsletters for a while, you will know that I went through a few years there where Tibor and I joke that we became the spiritual party poopers, just kind of pointing out different kinds of practices that can leave you vulnerable to energetic infringement, to having your energy scattered everywhere, to not being able to discern what is yours or what is source aligned or life giving for you. All of that we are now reintroducing, some of these things that in the past I have maybe warned you against. We're doing it from such a safe and grounded and practical standpoint because that's how we operate. It is one thing, and there's some value sometimes in being able to sit in a heavy duty ceremony and get blasted off to other realms. I mean, there's validity in that. But I also think that as we continue to evolve, it's no longer necessary. We are becoming more of who we naturally are if we are able to let that process happen and tap into it. And so that's what we're going to be doing at the event. We'll have classes, we'll have fun activities. A lot of it will be focused on healing and fun things. I mean, animal communication is fun and it like opens your mind up to all different possibilities. And it also helps you really start to develop your own inner guidance. Doesn't mean you can't seek out teachers or guidance or, from outside sources, but when you have that really strong center of knowing what your energy feels like, what your natural intuition sounds like in your own head, from there, you can develop a stronger sense of discernment because there's a lot of crazy stuff out there still, a lot of really trendy spiritual things, and things that are encouraging you to blast out of the body. That's to me kind of the opposite of what we're doing here on Earth at this time, which is bringing it back towards just having it be a natural everyday thing. More than five senses, right? We probably have like 15 senses, really. So we want to foster that. We want to have fun. We want to create community. We want you to leave the event feeling rejuvenated, inspired, leaving with some new skills and new tools, some new friends, well rested. And so that's the goal of the event. And I'll continue to talk about it over the next few weeks. Um, like I said, I know I've been slacking on the newsletters in the last year and I'm ready to pick it up again. I miss engaging with this group of people that still read the newsletter occasionally. So that's all going to be happening. You can email me at trackermedicine22@gmail with any direct questions. But if you click the little button below that says join the gathering, there's more information. There's an FAQ section. Your question might be answered there, but please reach out if you have any others. And we hope to see you in Tennessee. We're super excited. All right. Bye.